Right, hello and welcome back to Drayton Manor again. It has been a while and I'm glad that I was able to come here today because I've got to make use of the annual pass. This was an alternative trip because I was supposed to be at Babylon Park today for the first time, but the transport was cancelled because of the weather, so this was the alternative. But I am looking forward to visit because it has been a while now since I've visited the park, and yeah, I did technically come here last month, but it has been almost 2 months since I last came because it was the beginning of last month. Now it's near the end of June, so yeah, so I will be doing Babylon Park in a few months time instead. But yeah, it doesn't look like much has changed. I don't know if Maelstrom's going to be open, but it looks like there's a maintenance team there. And then Air Race, that might be down for the whole season because that hasn't... It was looking fairly complete before. Now they've took more of the gondolas off, so I don't know what's going on with that. But hopefully the one at Creeley's open when I go there later in the year. Because I go at the end... yeah, I don't know. I don't know when it actually opens. But... yeah, the highlight of today is going to be Stormforce 10. It's better weather for it than it was last time, although I didn't care last time. Yeah, that was such a fun ride, and it's the best water ride in the UK, I think, in terms of getting wet, and it's a long ride as well. Like, Tidal Wave's amazing, but it's short. Valhalla's great, but I need to try out Valhalla. I'll go into Blackpool again later in the year, and I'm going to go to the Pleasure Beach, so I'll have to try it without a poncho on just to compare this and Valhalla. But at the moment, Valhalla's obviously a dark ride and it's got a lot more to it, but in terms of a pure water ride, I think this might be better. So yeah, so that's going to be I don't know when it actually opens, but I'll get to that once it opens, or if it's already open I'll go to it, but it looked like it was testing just. The rapids is also good. Hopefully I'll get quite wet on there. People don't like UK rapids. I got wet on that last time, so just think it's sometimes you get wetter than other times, but you can get wet on that rapids. And I don't think I've got that wet on a UK rapids ever. Maybe one of the Gulliver's ones because of that plank of wood that they put in the trough that makes the water spray up. But yeah, those don't seem to be as consistent, whereas if I get wet on this today, that's probably most consistently good rapids. Obviously I'll get back on Gold Rush Wave, Accelerator, probably trucks as well. I might have to do some more stuff in Thomasland this year because I haven't done many of the flat rides and everything yet, like Toby and everything, or Thomas, the actual engine tours. Yeah, obviously I couldn't do the vintage cars. I'll have to go on there later in the year if I can go on there with a kid, because yeah, I don't understand the rules on that really. But yeah, I might do Submarine Splash because that's something I haven't done that I'm allowed to do. I don't know why I'm allowed to do that and not the vintage cars. That makes no sense to me. But yeah, I'll do the stuff I can do in Thomasland, which is basically everything but the vintage cars. And I'll just do this. I probably won't do that many reviews on the rides because obviously it will get repetitive the more videos I do. But you know, hopefully the haunting's nice and cool. It could go either way, couldn't it? In UK weather. But yeah, so, and hopefully Maelstrom will be sorted because I need to get as many rides on there before Evictus as possible, because if I said I wasn't nervous I would be lying, because yeah, I mean it's going to be a different sensation to that one in South Shields, so it should be alright. It's forceful, yeah, but it's not nauseating because it's not like tight, compact kind of axis, is it? So yeah, it'll be a different sensation to this, but this is practice. It's an Intamin gyro swing.
I need a bit of moisture.
Well, I've done Stormforce 10 now, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go on it again. But yeah, obviously it wasn't as fun as last time because you can't beat the experience I had last time with that person who had no clue what was going on, and yeah, that was kind of comedy gold. I felt sorry for them as well, but yeah. you know, I think their kids had dragged them on, so it was, you know, and yeah, those kids were enjoying themselves. So yeah, but I still got very wet. I was on the back again. Yeah, that backwards drop, it just all comes over you. Obviously the last drop you kind of get it in your face, and then if you're on the back, I think you probably the last drop you only really get wet if you're on the back, because it's a big drop. But yeah, you don't get that wet if you're anywhere else, but yeah, if you're on the back you get it in your face and it comes over you a bit. I just love that ride. You know, it's great water ride. I do need to do Valhalla without a poncho to the real test, but yeah, I'm glad that this is, I mean, it's got a 1.3 height restriction, but I think that is like the limit now with this park. So I'm glad that they've kept it, you know, sort of repainted some of the theming and everything, so it's, you know, it's sticking around. And it's got one of the best queue lines in the UK, maybe my favourite queue line. It's very immersive how, you know, it's all kind of walled off around the edge. So it feels like you are going up, and you know, you go up into the lighthouse, and it is like a coast guard. It's perfect for this area, and I don't understand why they put that in and started making this area more coastal with Maelstrom, and then let's put G-Force in and ruin that theme. But then when Looping Grip took over, they obviously G-Force had already gone by that point, and they put, I would have liked another family coaster to replace that, but because G-Force had a 1.3, I think, so that could have fit in with the new target audience, if that's the limit, because Maelstrom's 1.3 as well, I think. But yeah, so this could have been the thrill area. G-Force could have been rethemed, but it had already gone by the time Looping Group took over, so they put Wave Swinger in. At least they put Gold Rush in another area. I do think a Fabry drop tower would be great, because that's a 1.2 thrilling drop tower that would fit with this demographic. Apocalypse got removed because it had 1.4 on the stand-up towers, and it was either have 2 towers open and 3 bin bags or a new coaster. So I do think they made the right decision, because it was already on its last legs as well, because the last owners they looked after the park as much as they could, but they were running out of money. So yeah, but yeah, I tried to get on Maelstrom, and it looked like there were general public on it. It's still running reduced, and then it looks like it anyway, and then I went up to the staff member to try and get a ticket to see if it was still on reduced, and they said it's closed. So, and there were maintenance people around it again, so I don't know what's going on with Maelstrom. Wave, I'm going to wait, because it's got a huge queue all the way down the stairs, and that queue's not the best. So I don't know what I'm going to do now. Maybe, I don't know how busy Thomasland is. Maybe it'll be quiet because people will be put off going because of the weather. But yeah, it looks like the top of Harold has been taken off, and I noticed one of the turrets on the entrance has been taken off. I wonder if that is to do with the weather, or if it's just out for maintenance. I don't know, because sometimes they'll do that at parks. They'll just take bits out for maintenance to fix them up, so maybe that's all it is. Yeah, the maintenance people. So yeah, I'll do something anyway, so that I can dry off. You know, I mean, any ride's going to cool me down. Maelstrom did a great job, but I do need to dry off, because that was wet. I've just done Accelerator, brilliant family coaster, really smooth. Yeah, you know, it's just enjoyable. It's just what you want from a coaster. I do still think the re-theme on this, because it's very half done. Like, I love the new entrance. They need to just stick some pipes, make the cars steampunk. That's all they need to do, really. Just make it consistent, and the signs at the back as well. I mean, as much as the track is kind of worn out now, it needs a repaint. I'd like it to be turquoise track, with maybe like a sort of light brown support. Would look great, because this side doesn't look bad, but when you go around the other side, it really stands out, because the building needs doing, the station and everything. So yeah, I would like to see a re-theme, like sort of that brown for the supports, the ones on the fences, or gold maybe. Yeah, because they've put all this new signage up. So yeah, if they have, like, you know, make the cars all steampunk cars, they could keep most of the theme in, just make it more sort of steampunk-esque, really. yeah, it's not that hard. I've got, like, when I did the Future of Drayton Manor video, I've got a plan for the retheme of this. It wouldn't cost them that much. If they're not going to repaint, just stick some new stickers on the back of the cars. You know, the on-ride photo's got a nice border around it. So yeah, if it's like a sort of this power plant that's powering these vehicles that can go into the future, that's all you need to do. They're still running the 4D film Angry Birds, so I haven't seen that yet. I don't know if I'm going to bother with it today, but it's the same film that was at Thorpe Park, but I've never seen a film in this 4D cinema, so yeah, yeah, I don't know. Probably won't do it today, but I'll have to do it at some point in the season. But I'm going to try Gold Rush now. So that's a ride on Gold Rush done, isn't it? Again, great ride. Well paced and smooth. So yeah, cycle 1, I mean, I got some airtime on the drop and a proper whip forward on the backwards launch. So I do think cycle 2 is probably better, but I think cycle 2 you get the best of both worlds. But I think this is still a great ride. I mean, I like having it on both because it's a bit of variety, but I don't mind it when it is just. I mean, I think it is running 2 today. It's on reduced capacity, but I don't think it's because seats aren't working or restraints. I think it's to do with the weather, because they are running the second car off both trains, but other than that they're running the whole thing. So yeah, so I mean, the queue wasn't that bad. It was maybe a little bit longer than it normally is because it was a bit outside the building, but then it's up the stairs and that's it. So yeah, I think it's more because of the weather, because it's probably to do with the track expanding. But then you'd think it needs, I don't know. It probably has to be a little bit lighter. It probably has to run exactly that many riders if it's warm. So it can't run any less, but it can't run any more. So they have to skip a car to get the weight distribution right, because I guess it needs to be a little bit lighter so that there's not as much friction. I'm guessing it's something to do with that. So yeah, but I did notice it's nice. They've got the water feature fixed now, because someone mentioned it on a vlog. I don't know if it was Coaster Dad or Joe, but there's like above the entrance tunnel, there's like a little trough with water going down it, and then there's also a little fountain in the pool. That might have been working before, the little fountain spraying out, but the trough is working now. There's water flowing down there, so that's great. So I'm glad they're getting stuff fixed. It looks like the haunting wasn't that busy, probably because no one wants to go indoors today, but they might have aircon in there. I don't know, it was built in 1996 in the UK, so it probably doesn't, but I mean, obviously they'd have to have, because someone said theme parks in the UK don't have aircon unless it's to protect the machinery, so it's probably got ventilation, but it's not really going to benefit guests. But yeah, I mean, I'll still do it. It's one of my favourite rides here, if not my favourite. It's between that and Stormforce 10, I think, and this, of course. This is great. So yeah, it was nice to get back on. I have got the photo package for today because I haven't got one this year so far. It was nice that Stormforce 10, because they still, you pay for them, but they still have the option to print them off, and there's staff there, so it feels like you're paying for them because the staff are working there. When you're paying for them and there's no staff, where's that money going? You know, I know not all of it's going to go to the staff, but there's people working for it, whereas when there's no one there, it should be free. It should be like Fantasy Island. You pay for your wristband, and then you just scan your wristband and you get free photos. It's really good. But yeah, there was no staff member on Gold Rush, and here you do have to have a staff member to do it. So yeah, I'm not complaining about needing staff, because it's great to get more people to work, but when there's no one in there, it does mean that you can't get your photo. But I'll try and get it later on, because I've got a picture of it, so we can show the staff member that was our picture earlier, unless it overwrites it, and then we'll have to just, if we go back on, we'll have to get another one if there's anyone there. But yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do next. Probably, I don't know, Wave was so busy. That needs another train, because the Accelerator and this have got great ops. Even though Accelerator's got one train, it's got great ops. Wave just, I don't know what it is about it, but I think the staff to get the train sent out quick as possible, but the queue seems to build up so much. Maybe it's just because it's the biggest ride here, because it's, I mean, this is, I prefer this, but Wave is taller and obviously more dominant, so that might be part of it. I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, I feel like the vibe here is better now than it was earlier in the season. Like, it just feels more fresh. I don't know what it is about it, but yeah, I mean, I'm obviously, the more I come here, the more I'm going to get a connection to this park again. I think I did when I went a few times a few years ago as well. I went a lot, and then I didn't come here last year. So yeah, now I'm like, yeah, it's just a nice day out to have, really.
He'll stay there and can do the lookout for as long as needed.
Oh, can you see it?
What are they called?
Can you see the meerkat?
Not scared of that. Squirrels and
Oh, it's a frog.
Does maroon poison your fish? No?
no, yeah.
Can you see him on the tree? This
Kids will be good now. There's a few in there. They look like they've got oh, it's them with the tiny face. I always forget how much there is at the zoo. There's always more than I think. Oh, we still ain't got drinks, have we?
see it? Look there now. You see it? You see the monkey? Monkey. Did you see that? Yeah? Is that please? I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that.
In the shade, please.
My
I just can't do it.
that one.
But you're warm this time of year, so we know.
This way. Oh, it's adorable.
Picture on it. Sorry, what was you going to say? No, I thought you were saying. That and they seem really shy, whereas that's quite tame. Just like a proper panda. Oh yeah. Imagine that. Go on, top.
You know, Santa could up for me.
I'm guessing that's what they mean.
He could be.
Quick! Let's go, guys. Do you want to drop something?
All animals first. All this way.
Come on, Peanut, get down. Well, come on.
Peanut.
Come on. Yeah.
They ain't bothered. No. That was hot.
Choo-choo train.
going on in there. There we go. So I've done Troublesome Trucks after I did Thomas. Yeah, it was a bit disappointing. I don't know why it's only running one lap. Maybe it's just a rule that now on a Saturday it has to run one lap. But every time I've come this year it's been a Saturday. And today's been the quietest. A bit odd, but maybe they're just strict on that now. I mean, they were strict on the vintage cars, only allowing me to do that if I had a kid. But yeah. So I don't know why that was, but it's a great family coaster. It's probably the best like small scale family coaster in the UK, like a junior coaster. It's just borderline junior family coaster, what I'd say. But yeah, you know, it's a nice well-paced helix, double helix. But it'll be interesting to see if I prefer this or Bluey. I'll always have a better connection to this because of what the way that Alton Towers handled Bluey and the way that the fans will, yes, I understand they did it to update the IP, but the way that the fans ignore the other problems at Alton Towers because Bluey's a good ride for its demographic, whereas I think Thomas Land's more balanced. So this coaster has the right to be here more than Bluey, even though Bluey should be that. It's quite, I'll explain it when I go to Alton Towers because obviously I haven't even got that cred yet. So yeah, Maelstrom is running now. I don't know if you still have to get a ticket. Does it look full? To be fair, it looks full. Yeah, it's back to being full, but maybe there's a couple of seats out, but yeah, I don't think it's running reduced, so I might be able to get on that then. I might try it after. I'm doing Wave next, hopefully the queue's not horrendous. And I've got to do Submarine Splash. It doesn't look like the guns are back on Captain Sea Adventure. That needs the guns on in the summer because they can replace them with searchlights in the winter. It should have the guns on now. Especially because Battle Galleons at Alton Towers doesn't have the guns on. So they haven't got any water rides open today because Congo's shut. Battle Galleons has got no guns because of the pumps, and Toxicator's got no fountains because of the pumps. So you've only got in the Night Garden. That's not, it's a water ride, but it's not a wet water ride. So very, very disappointing. But come to Drayton Manor, you're not going to have a water ride problem. So yeah, but yeah, I'll try Wave now. I've just had my ride on the Wave. It was walk-on, surprisingly. It was rammed this morning, but I think the thing is, it's not a very busy park. Everyone accumulated here. Now they're all accumulating at Stormforce. I mean, it's not a massive queue for Stormforce. It's probably maybe half an hour, 40 minutes max. But I don't know. It's only just coming out the lighthouse. So there's no like, I mean, there's not really much cattle pen in Stormforce 10. But yeah, the Wave was great. A little bit rattly. But yeah, this is a brilliant coaster to sort of get you into the intense rides. It's proper like medium intensity, although yeah, the 0G roll is quite whippy, and yeah, it was quite sort of intense, just the bottoms of some of the elements. But yeah, I think they just improved it with the new train. Obviously I do have a special place for Shockwave, but the queue line felt fresh, and I suppose it does when there's no queue in there, because you can really see how they did repaint all the walls. There's not as much graffiti anymore. It just feels nicer in there, and I suppose that's the thing. When it's busy, it's going to feel crowded and not very pleasant. When it's really quiet, like, although at least the weather's nice today. I think the worst is when the weather's either, well, when it's too hot it's not as noticeable, but when it's like cloudy, rainy, things do look worse, I think. Well, that's probably why the park feels so fresh today, because there's a nice cold breeze, it's not just warm, whereas the last few days it's been really bad. So yeah, it was great to get back on the wave. Perfect sort of, I wouldn't say necessarily me, I'm saying in terms of the coasters I've been on, it's like lower thrilling level. So if you want to build up, this is pretty good. There's probably maybe Mandrill Mayhem, and I haven't done Drakon at Poulton's Park yet, but maybe they're better for your first inversion, especially because a lot of people are still scared of lap bars because there's not that many coasters, because they're only gradually being phased in. Hopefully it'll be the norm at some point because they are more comfortable, but a lot of people, it does take them to do an over the shoulder before they can do lap bars, or they need building up to it, which, yeah, I think that, you know, the more we get, I suppose, the more the general public will get used to them, because we saw that at Pleasurewood Hills. The staff were like, it's safer with a lap bar because you're not going to bang your head, but yeah, so I'd say it's great sort of high medium intensity coaster, and great that it was walk on. I could have done front row, but I would have had to wait at least like 2 or 3 trains, so I just went straight on really in the main queue. But I don't know, I'll probably will end up doing front row at some point in the rest of the year. It was squeaking a bit on there that inversion, the corkscrews, but yeah, I've done Maelstrom now. I've got to get my Invictus training, and it looks like I mean, it was quiet, so I don't know if those seats were being skipped because they just didn't fill up the whole thing, or if it's still slightly reduced, but you don't have to get a ticket. There's no staff member at the entrance now. Yeah, it looks up there. Maybe there are still like 3-4 seats missing, but at least it's running most capacity. Yeah, there you go. I've had my ride on Maelstrom. That was running really well. The cycle was average, but yeah, it was really forceful. So I just had great time on there, you know, the proper feeling the rush in between. I just kind of sat back and relaxed on there, weirdly. But yeah, I feel very comfortable on this ride now. I know that Invictus, but then I think it's a different type of force. So I don't know. I don't know, but I hope that I enjoy it and find it addictive, because I feel like now I could just go on this again. You know, I feel like the more I do this, so I need that training. I need to get used to more forces, you know. I've done a few intense flat rides on the breakdance that, but halfway through that ride, I didn't enjoy it the first half at South Pier, and then I started to enjoy it the second half, and then every time I've had a ride on a breakdance, whether it's a Sabema one or a Huss one, I've enjoyed it. So that's good practice. I think going on loads of gyro swings is good practice, as I enjoyed the Yarmouth one. So I need that, because I wasn't expecting to go on Invictus this year, so yeah. But that was a great ride on Maelstrom. I think I'm going to try Submarine Splash now, because I don't know I don't think it looked terrible before. Yeah, so I'll try that out, because you don't get wet on it, but it's basically a gentle boat ride with some tiny little drops on it. Like, the drops are about the same size as the drops on Fairy Tale Brook at Legoland. Like, yeah, you know, it's a boat ride. It's not really the best way to introduce your kids to flumes, because I'd say like Rugrats is probably better for that, but Thomasland never had a boat ride, so I don't mind. But yes, I might pop on there, just say I've done it this year. And I've just done Toby, the flat ride. Probably one of the best rides in Thomasland, because yeah, it is quite a dizzy spinning ride. So it basically just lifts up, spins round, and it tilts a bit like a wave swinger. So there's a bit of up and down, but I honestly say that it's actually more intense at the beginning when it's just spinning on the flat, and at the end, but it's not going to do that with it being suitable for kids. But it is a perfect fit for Thomasland. I mean, with it being a Zamperla ride like this, it could go somewhere else like Vikings, But I'm glad that Thomasland's got some great flat rides like this that add to the capacity generally, and they're not just pure kids rides. Submarine Splash, I looked on the website, it looks like they have now added an age limit on it, so I don't know if it's worth trying now. I mean, it's probably fairly quiet, so I could try, but all they can do is turn me away like they did on the vintage cars, because I always said that it doesn't make sense that they had it on the vintage car, and I still don't think it does, even if they have got it on this. The vintage cars is supposed to be for everyone, because they might as well put a limit on Winston if they're going to do it on the vintage cars, because at least the vintage cars has got a dark ride scene, but well, I don't class it as a dark ride, but it's like an indoor scene. But yeah, it's a little themed boat ride basically, but I don't know if it's only 2 kids or 1 adult and 1 child. I don't know if they'd allow 1 adult on anymore, but then they might because it's quiet, but then they are strict, so I don't know. Yeah, it was another great ride on Blasting Barrels, one of the most consistent spinning barrels rides. Yeah, you do get some quite weird feelings where your hips are swiveling round because the platform tilts up, and obviously it's got the individual platforms as well, which the barrels are on. So when you're closer to the edge, it does like this weird swivel feeling than when you're closer to the middle. Yeah, brilliant ride. It's very forceful when you get it going, especially in this heat. It feels more intense. I did wave as well on front row. That was before Toby. Yeah, that was definitely better on the front. I think when it was Shockwave, it was better on the second row, because it used to have this jolt on the front row on the loop that was obviously more painful when it had over the shoulder. So yeah, it's definitely a front row ride. You get like pushed forward a lot. Yeah, I didn't bother with Submarine Splash because yeah, it's honestly I don't think it's worth the risk now. Like, looking at the website, it's not stated completely clearly, but it kind of implies that they don't allow singular adults. It's either 2 kids or 1 adult and 1 kid on there, so yeah, I don't think I'd be allowed on it, so it's probably not worth it. I tried the Haunting, that's got a massive queue, and I would have done it, but that would have been my last ride of the day, and when I've got like half an hour left, I could make the most of that a bit more, so I'll have to do the Haunting next time. I think I might try Sheriff Showdown, but it's weird because the dark rides don't have air conditioning, I don't think. At least this is ventilated, but the dark rides don't have air conditioning, so it's like, you know, why are people going on there on a hot day? But I suppose they think that they can get a bit of shade, but I don't know, it's just a tin shed. But yeah, so Gold Rush is there. I don't know what that's on. Might be able to sneak in Cycle 2 before the end of the day if it's on Cycle 2. Yeah, it looks like it's on Cycle 2. Yeah. So I might try that next. I'll see what the queue's on. And that's it for Drayton Manor today. I just ended with another ride on Gold Rush. Cycle 2. I think today's Cycle 1 might have been running slightly better when I went on this morning, but it was good to get back on there anyway. And I think the backwards launch does sometimes catch people by surprise down the lift hill. So yeah, it's been a great day. Obviously I haven't done that many rides, but it didn't really have to be a crammed in day doing loads of stuff, because I can come here anytime again. Yeah, so I didn't miss, so I didn't ride the Haunted, I missed that, which is one of my favourite rides here. So, you know, I didn't hit the Rapids either, but that was, I rejoined the queue and then the staff had to close it because someone had a nosebleed on there. So everyone was being sent back because they had to get medics and stuff. So, you know, they weren't just like, you can't wait. They were like, yeah, we've got to get everyone off. That makes sense, because, you know, if someone was injured, it's probably nothing serious. Hopefully not. It's just, just in case, you know, they've got to get everyone out. So I don't know if it opened again afterwards, but I didn't get a chance to ride it, so I might do that next time. But it was good to get on Stormforce 10 this morning. Again, I didn't do that again. I probably should have done that instead of going into Thomasland that second time, really, because the queue was, I think it was only like up to the bridge again, over the bridge when I looked. But yeah, I did notice, well, because obviously not much has changed other than the water feature being fixed on Gold Rush. I did notice they seem to have added some neon lights in the station for the wave, like blue neon lights. That really adds to the atmosphere, and I think I don't know if the lights were always turned on blue in the cattle pen bit of the queue line as well, but that looked really nice. I did have to queue a bit longer for that front row ride, but then when I got to the front, like the queue for the ride in general was bigger, but when it got to the merge point between the front row and the main queue, the front row queue was really short, so I had to wait one train, so that was really good. Sometimes it can work quicker, but a lot of the time obviously it builds up and then it's longer because you can only get 4 people on the front row, whereas, you know, you can get 20 people on the rest of the train, and then obviously if there's still space on the front row, if there's like odd groups, then you could get like an extra 1 or 2 people on the front as well. So obviously the main queue just moves quicker, but if it is short, then it's worth it. So yeah, it's been a, you know, just nice theme park escapism, not too rushed, and I think Babylon Park would have been rushed. So yeah, but the next thing I'm going to be doing is probably Llandudno at some point, and then August is really busy, but I don't think July is going to be that busy, so yeah.